to my channel. So in today's video I have something super exciting. You guys know I love drugstore makeup, so it's going to be a drugstore video. I'm going to be reviewing 7 new e.l.f. products, and if you guys watched my Black Friday haul from 2018, then you guys saw all of the e.l.f. products that I picked up. I did ask you guys on Instagram if you wanted me to review each product individually in its own video, or if you guys wanted me to combine everything and just review it all in one video, and that's what won. So I'm going to be doing one video today reviewing these 7 products for you. So I have the Flawless Foundation, the 16-Hour Camo Concealer, the Poreless Putty Primer, and then the Moisture Lock Primer, the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and then the Jelly Highlighter. And then lastly, I also have a setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Plus Glow Dewy Mist. So those are all the products I'm going to be reviewing in this video today. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts, what I think, if I would recommend, if they work for me, if they don't, just what I think in general, if you guys want to hear my review, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Let's go ahead and start the review with the primers. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Poreless Putty Primer, and towards the end of the video I will go ahead and insert a little demo just so you guys can see how they apply on my skin. But anyways, I'm gonna start with the Poreless Putty Primer. Like I said, this primer has so much talk in the beauty community. It has literally been everywhere. So it's just a little jar, you open it up, and then inside you have your product and you stick your finger in it. It's super creamy, and it's very smoothing. It makes your skin look really pretty. You guys know I have dry sensitive skin. I was super nervous that this was going to dry me out and like make me look matte or something like that, and it doesn't do that. It does give me a little bit of moisture. It's not like the most hydrating primer or anything like that, but it does work nice on my dry skin. This retails for $8. Packaging is definitely not my favorite because it's unsanitary, you know, sticking your hands in there, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm the only person using my primer. I still have the little packaging, and I'm gonna read what it says. This Perfecting Putty Primer smooths the skin and preps with squalane? You guys know I suck at pronouncing words. Anyways, with, and then that word, to help moisturize and grip makeup for all day wear. The velvety texture glides over the skin, smoothing over imperfections for a poreless effect. And then in the directions, this actually does have actual directions, and it says apply a thin, even amount to moisturized skin prior to makeup application, allowed to set for 30 seconds before applying foundation. I would definitely recommend those steps. If you apply way too much of this, it can get a little too sticky and a little too much, and if you don't let it set for those 30 seconds, I find that it just kind of slides all over the place. So this does need those 30 seconds to set. You do get 0.74 ounces, which is really good. A lot of people compare this to the Tatcha primer. I personally don't own it, so I can't say yes or no. I don't find that this 100% fills in my pores. I feel like my smaller pores, it fills them, but I have a few larger pores like in this area right here, and when I apply my highlighter sometimes, it really does emphasize my pores still. But I do really like this. I like to apply this like on my cheekbones. I like to apply it around my nose, on my nose. I also like to apply it on my chin. This primer is not going to make your makeup last. It is not going to prolong your makeup like it says. At least for me personally, I haven't experienced that. Every single time I use this, my makeup does not last very long. It just lasts a couple hours. I can get probably 5 to 6 hours without my makeup fading where I apply this. I would definitely say pick this up if you were thinking of getting the Tatcha one, because I mean, hands down, the price doesn't even compare, and you get more product, I've heard, in this one than the Tatcha one. And I've reviewed so many different primers on my channel. You guys know I'm super picky with primers, especially when it comes to e.l.f. primers, because I've tried quite a few that I don't like. And you guys already know I have one of my holy grail primers from e.l.f. It's the one in the yellow packaging. I can never remember the name, but I'll put a little picture for you guys. That is my absolute favorite one that I've tried so far from e.l.f. But this is definitely up there for me. I really like this, and I have been using this nonstop. So the next primer that I'm going to talk about is this one right here, and this is the Moisture Lock Primer. I am obsessed with the packaging. It is just so sleek. I love that it's in a little squeezy tube, and it has a pump. It's not like you just squeeze it out. It comes with a cap. It's just, I really like this packaging. I had wanted this primer for a really long time, but it was always out of stock. And when I picked this up, I was super excited. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try it because it says moisture. Anything with moisture, I need it in my life. I have to try it. I have dry skin. I'm gonna say this a million times, but you guys already know. This primer is not moisturizing, but let me tell you, this is the one that's gonna make your makeup last all freaking day. What I have been doing actually when I apply the Poreless Putty primer, basically where I have my pores, I will go ahead and go in with the Moisture Lock primer everywhere else that I did not apply the putty one. And you guys, it makes my makeup last so much more, and I've also worn this by itself and my makeup just lasts a lot longer. So when you apply this, it's almost like a sticky lotion. You put this all over your face and it kind of starts to dry down pretty quickly, so it's kind of tacky. And at first I didn't like it, but once I started noticing when I was using other products like different primers and different foundations and stuff, once I started noticing that this is what was making my makeup last, I was like, okay, that's why. Like, that's why it's good, that's why it's sticky. You don't want to put too much of this just like the other primer. You just want to put a little bit, just enough, rub it in your hands, you know, put it on your face. You don't want to overdo it with the primer. I can totally see myself using this primer a lot more in the summertime. I do think all skin types would really enjoy this primer, as well as the putty primer I forgot to mention, because they're not overly dewy and they're not like 100% matte. So if you have dry skin, they give you a tiny bit of moisture. If you have oily skin, they're going to kind of balance you out a little bit. They're definitely not the most mattifying primers out there. So if you get super oily, like around your nose, maybe your T-zone, wherever you get super oily, maybe apply a super mattifying one and then apply one of these two everywhere else. I quickly want to talk about this e.l.f. Plus line. This is the Glow Dewy Mist. This reminds me of the Pixie Beauty Milk Mist or Milky Mist. I can't remember exactly what it's called. That's what this reminds me of. And I personally like to use this spray for skincare to prep my skin, or when I have super minimal makeup and I just want to refresh my face a little bit. This is really hydrating on the skin. I do think everybody would enjoy this because this, again, it is not a super overly dewy type of spray. You can definitely smell the coconut in this one. It's like a nice sweet coconut smell, which I love. You guys know I love the scent of coconut. It's just a really nice, like, nourishing, hydrating type of spray. It does have coconut water and argan oil in it, which is really great for your skin. And it's not a super intense mister either, because I really hate when it just like shoots out at your face. This is definitely something that I would repurchase again. Next, I want to talk about the Flawless Foundation. I am obsessed with the packaging. This is only $6, which is insane to me. You get a glass bottle, you get a pump. So with this foundation, you're actually only getting 0.68 fluid ounces, which is less than a traditional foundation. You normally get 1 ounce, but this foundation is so affordable. I actually love this for a day-to-day basis. This has been my go-to for running errands when I want to wear makeup. Of course, I'm wearing all of these products today. This is not going to be the foundation that I run to when I want to go out on a date night, when I'm going to be out for hours and hours, like maybe 8 or 9 hours. So this is just like a day-to-day foundation for me. I get a good 5 to 6 hours. Sometimes I get up to 8 hours, just depending on what I was doing, if I was sweating, if I was not, if I set my foundation really well that day. So it all depends, but average for me, I've been getting 5 to 6 hours before it starts to fade. So I have a little con for this foundation. I find that the little pump stops working because mine's not working anymore, and I still have a lot of product in there. So for me, I have to like put it on my hand like this. So this is a thicker consistency, but it doesn't feel thick on the face. I would say this is a medium to buildable coverage foundation. It claims to be a semi-matte foundation. I personally think it's a little bit more of a satin finish, a little bit more on the dewy side. Now I want to talk about the 16-hour Camo Concealer. So I love the packaging. It just kind of looks like the traditional big doe foot applicator that everybody has been coming out with. You guys know I love my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This kind of reminds me a little bit of that. I find this concealer to be a little bit more on the creamy side. This is a really dewy concealer, and I got the shade Light Beige. It has really great coverage. I will say, I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, my right eye has been watery and my little tears keep going down, so it kind of takes off the concealer a little bit. This concealer is not waterproof, it's not sweat proof or anything like that, neither is the foundation, by the way. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I hope you can. Maybe if I do this, because it's already kind of removing it, but that's just, like I said, because my eye is super watery. I do find this concealer to be medium to full coverage. You can definitely build it up. So next I want to talk about this jelly highlighter. So the packaging is very, very similar to the putty primer. It's like a little jar, and the jelly highlighter craze has been like everywhere, and the shade is called Bubbly. I really did not like this when I first started playing around with it because it was just so hard for me to figure out how to make this work. It's very intense, you guys. It's so freaking beautiful. When you touch it, it feels wet. So this was the first jelly highlighter that I personally had ever tried. So to apply this highlighter, it took me a little while to figure out how to make it work. Because if you go in with your finger and dab it on, if you don't blend it out right away, either with your finger or your sponge, you're gonna be left with those marks wherever you placed it. Like if I were to place it like this with my finger, you're gonna see the circles, like the little stamps my finger makes. So I would definitely recommend a sponge to blend this out. If I went in and then I directly use my sponge, it doesn't work that way. So what I have to do, I go in, I dip it just a little bit, a few times. You get the product. I have to go all over my hand and then I go in. Otherwise, it just doesn't blend out seamlessly. It's the only way I can get it to work. And when I do it that way, I just get a nice subtle glow. And then I can definitely intensify it and add more. But once I set my face with powder, it kind of goes away a little bit. I think if you're looking to try a jelly highlighter, this would be a good one because it's affordable. So now the last product I want to talk about is this Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. So it's really lightweight. It almost feels like nothing. It has a little spoolie on the end, which is nice. It's not my favorite spoolie. I actually prefer the one on their other brow pencil. This one right here, I'm not sure what this is called. It just says brow pencil, but I prefer this spoolie a lot more. I really, really like the precise tip of this one compared to their other one because the other one is so much thicker. You can be a lot more precise with this one. It is retractable, which I like. It goes up and down. The formula of this is actually really nice. It's not too creamy and it's not too dry. And I just went ahead and did a couple little, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me do it on the other hand since I have highlighter on that one. Oh, I just broke it. You do have to be careful because this one can snap on you if you take out too much product and you start applying too much pressure. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to get a little closer for you guys. I have mine in the shade Brunette, which personally I think is too light for me. I did set my brows today with a tinted brow gel, so that's why they don't look as light. I should have purchased a shade up. So if you're looking for a new brow pencil, I would say give this one a try. It has a nice precise tip. It kind of reminds me of how they used to make brow pencils because nowadays everybody has the teardrop shape, so it's just a little more pointed. If that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, that is the last product that I was going to review for you guys. Sorry if I missed anything. I was just trying to kind of go through everything because I don't want this video to be ridiculously long. So if I missed anything and I didn't go super in depth with a particular product that maybe you guys wanted to hear more about, just leave me your questions down below. I did my best to cover what I normally would cover in a review video. It's just since I had 7 products to talk about, I wanted to speed it up as much as I could. And I'm gonna go ahead and insert the demo for you guys very quickly with some music so you guys can see, and then I'll be back at the end to talk a little bit more. video. If I missed anything, once again, just ask me down below if you have any questions. Let me know also if you guys have tried any of these products, what you think. Maybe you had a different experience. I will have all the products linked down below for you guys. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and if you enjoyed, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!